Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. As always, massive thanks for all the support. So today we're going back into the wild, this time with the gorgeous wolf. We've got a lovely little eagle in the background there as well. So I've already pre-stuck my 1mm foam pads onto the back so that that is ready to go. So we're going to start by bringing in a trimmer, and I need that one out, and I'm going to start with 2 pieces of A4 300 GSM white cardstock, and I'm going to cut the first piece to 10 by 6, and the second piece to 10 by 5. Okay, so these bits are spare bits, so we'll just pop those to the side. Now I've sort of worked these measurements out in my head, so this should work, but once I get this scored we should be able to see if that's going to work. So for the 10 by 6 we're going to score at 2 and 4, and then we can just fold those up, those a burnish down, and then this one should be scored at the 5 and just folded in half. Okay, and this will fit onto here, so I'm just going to check that that's going to sit in the right position. Yeah, I think that's going to be fine. Okay, so we can go ahead and do some layers. So I am going to be using gold mirri. So again, I'm going to be using up these mirri mats. So I'm going to bring that piece out as well from last time, and that one. So let's pop those to the side. So the first one I'm going to do is for this back piece, which will be 6 by 6. So you already know I'm just going to take 2 notches off that all the way around. So that should fit quite nicely onto there. Happy with that. And then we want a 5 by 5, so 2 notches under the 5. 2 notches under the 5. Probably would be more economical to cut that out of a A4 sheet because you get more out of it, but I think that's going to be fine. And then this piece here is going to be the 2 by 2 notches under the 6. So I'm going to go 2 notches under the 2, and then that one should fit onto there. Okay, let's pop those out of the way. So for the actual back piece of here, rather than use the cardstock from the actual image, I'm going to bring in a piece of this green Matte-tastic Adorable Scoreable, and I'm going to cut that down to 4 notches under the 6. And hopefully that should fit quite nicely onto our mirri mat. So I'll take a tiny little piece off this end. It's getting worse and worse. Okay, so it's the blade, needs a new blade now. Okay, and that is there. So I'll pop that to the side because no doubt I will need some more of that. And then I'm going to bring in the coordinating cardstock, which is this one, and I'm just going to use the brown side and I'm going to cut a piece which is 4 notches under the 5 and 4 notches under the 5. So we've got a lovely big chunk there that we won't be using, and then this one goes onto here. That one fits nicely. Now I'm not going to cut the piece for that yet, purely because I'm not sure whether I want to go with a green piece to match in, or whether to have another piece of the brown. Okay, so we can start to do some assembling, and then we can work it from there. What I am going to do is just grab my scissors and just take a little bit of that fluff off. So I'm just angling those scissors underneath, so it's only cutting anything overhanging rather than cutting into my cardstock. And it's all right on the other side. So always with my glues, I've got my Collall All-Purpose, and I've also got my tacky glue, Collall tacky glue. So I will be using a combination, same combination I always use. Collall tacky in the corners, and then the All-Purpose in the centre. Good press down so that makes good contact, and then we can go ahead and stick this onto the back of our card. Okay, and then we can pop this one in. Quite nicely. So just moving up a little bit on my layers. So there we go. Okay, happy with that. And then this one again, same thing. Just make sure I've got my card the right way, so it is like a tent fold. Again with that All-Purpose. A little bit of tacky in those corners, just so that I don't have to risk any glue going on my card. Just give that a good press down, and then we can maneuver that into place. Then again with this one, and obviously if you wanted to emboss this, you could do. Okay. So for this next bit, what I think I'm going to do is I'll stick this onto my card here. I'm going to use just my normal glues, and then what I'll do is I'll assemble the topper with the decoupage, and then by the time we come back, this should be pretty much secure on there. So I'm going to fold my step up. I'm going to pop that in underneath. I want a nice green border all the way around, nice and even. Try and get that nice and straight. And I think I'm happy with that. There we go. Okay, so what I can do is just pop that to the side, just to glue. So I'm going to pop the lid back on that for a second, and I'm going to bring my topper in. So this one's quite a nice long one, so and then what we can do, I'm going to take out every other piece of decoupage like I normally do, and I think I'm going to go with the second one. Oops. And just be careful popping these out, sometimes they can be a bit stubborn. Don't want to rip anything. If you're in any doubt, you can pop them out from behind. Especially like with the wolf with his little legs and stuff, just be super careful. Onto, that'll be the next one, and then this one, the one after that. Again, just being super careful of his little legs. Maybe chopping a leg off before he needs it. And I think we'll just go with the rest of the decoupage then, so we'll just pop that out of the way for a second. Do all of his legs then. And we've got a little bit of rock. Got a lovely little eagle in the background. And we've got his head. Another rock. So basically I'm just going to put 2 layers on the other card when I make that one up. There is that. And we've got a lovely sentiment on there, which is "It's your birthday, time to go wild." Okay, so let's do this a second. So just when you turn it over and look at the back, just make sure there's no landlocked areas. This one is not, this one's a bit more straightforward because of the dog, but on some of the others sometimes you have a little bit to poke out in the middle as well. So just a little bit of tacky glue on the back of these, just to give me that little bit of wiggle room. And then if I turn that round, I can line that up with the bottom edge, so that should fit in exactly at the bottom. And then into position there, so I'm happy with that. And then we've got our next layer. And this is just a stunning image. Well, all of this kit actually is really lovely, and the colours are just gorgeous. I mean, this teal green for the forest is just really lovely. So just peeling these backs off with a bit of tacky glue. You can use your tweezers if you want to. Oops, foam pads decided to go. So again, you can line it up in that corner with this shape. And then I'm just coming round, adding him on. And then next layer. Like I say, these are quite nice chunky decoupages, so if you wanted to get kids involved in these, it's nice and easy for them, because you don't have to bother with the smaller bits. You could just have the larger pieces and you still got a gorgeous card. And you could turn it into a teachable moment, you know. Where's this animal from? What's its habitat? If you're trying to get a child to talk about their feelings, what do you think this wolf is howling about? Loads of ways you could incorporate this into work with children. So this is his back leg. And then we've got a front leg. bit of glue. And then we'll put its nice little head on. Get the foam pads off. Try not to stick the covers back on. So let's just shape his head a little bit. Head onto there, and then we just need to work out where these come in. Okay, goes onto there. I had a strange moment with my Pinterest the other day, guys. I don't know if you've ever had this, but I had a notification, actually twice, that my cards have been saved. And then when you click on the little link, it's not there. And like the one the other day was saying that Rebecca Monks had saved one of my pins, and I was like super excited. So I wanted to have a look, and then there was nothing. Going on there. Kiddies. And then there was one the other day as well. But then I had a couple today and they were fine, so I don't know why. Sometimes it lets me see. I don't know if you guys have had any experience same with Pinterest. Into there. And then one's going to go that way. And then we've just got our eagle. And I did say these were all just 1mm foam pads that I'm using on here today. Pretty much is what I use on all of my decolages, to be fair. Just because I don't like them to be too popped up. Complete opposite of my mum. She was like, no, they need to be in your face. Okay, we'll just pop Mr. Eagle in the sky. Okay, so now I need to make a decision on this base. Do I want that green or do I want that brown? Let's have a look at the here. So I think if it's the brown it's going to be too much. So I think I'm going to go with the green. And I think I might put some texture in it by just embossing it a little bit. So let's have a look at this bit. Maybe this might be enough for us. So we need it. It's not going to be quite long enough. That's okay. Okay, so we want it. Actually, it might be 4 notches under the 6. It should be, shouldn't it? Because we've got that gold. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then 2 notches under the 2. And then let's bring in the scoreboard. And I'm going to pop it that way down. And I'm just going to score at every 2 notches. So just to give it a little bit of texture, so it's not quite the same as the top. Same colour, so it's all going to tie in. There we go. Right, so let's bring our all-purpose glue in. Quite close to the edge on that one, so I will have to be careful. Put that way round. Oh, that is too big. Okay. This is going to stick my ruler up. Let's see if I can get it to, what have I done? Ah, should have been 4 notches. So I can unstick my ruler in a second. Let's just hope we can get that on nice and quickly. That should be fine. So apologies, that should be 4 notches under the 2. There we go. Okay, so let's bring this in, and if I open that up, I need to get this put into position on here again. All purpose tacky. So it's just that subtle difference between that and that, so I'm liking that. So the next thing we need to do is work out the next bit. So let me grab these here. So we have got these 2 lovely borders, or we've got the sentiment, the whole world is yours to explore. It's your birthday, time to go wild. So let me pop that one out. So that was my first choice really. Let me grab this border here. This is the one with kind of paw prints on. So what we need to do is, it's a bit like an easel card really, in that you need a stopper to stop the card flopping about. That's the point of this card. Okay, so this one, this topper is, I've made it so that it's, because it's a long topper, so it is going to go above the card a little bit, so it's got that bit of definition there. That's the way I planned this to be. And then on here it's going to have my border for it to slot into, and then we've got our little sentiment which may go on there. Okay, so let me just stand that up, just to make sure. Whether I should have gone with the brown board. No, we'll go with this one. Okay, so let me bring in my trimmer again very quickly, and if I neaten up that end there, just got a bit of glue there I can see, and then we want that 4 notches. Because I've just got a bit of glue on the other end, so 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under this. That should be fine across there. Perfect. There we go. Right. Okay. So again, I'm going to come in with some all-purpose glue on the back of here. I'm going to pop some tacky glue around there because I do want it to stick quite nice and quick. And what I want is just a little bit over the edge. But I want it even on each side, and ideally I want that to be straight. And then for this one, I'm going to come in with some Crafter's Companion pads because they're slightly higher. They're the higher ones that I've got. So I'm going to bring in my knife, just cut these down. They're not quite a strip, but they are a long pad, which you'll see in a second. Now we just have to get them off without ruining them. Come wanting to separate from the back end. This isn't good. Ah, there we go. And what I'm doing is I am putting these pads sort of at the bottom of the actual piece, because I want this to tuck in a little bit behind it, which is going to help it stay sort of open. Okay, so let me just double check that before we do this next bit. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So I was just counting the embossed lines that I did, just so I know whereabouts it's got to go. So I'll pull these backs off. A little bit of tacky glue. Put that the right way up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Along there like that, and then when we stand that up, it should slot behind it like so. I don't know if I want that to be a little wide. We could it just fit in there nice. It's just got to be a bit further back on the stretch, that's all. Okay, so it's just a question of just getting the card right, stood up. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with the It's Your Birthday. Time to go wild. We should have a look, see what this one looks like. I think if I was doing this again, I would put this bar down a little lower. I think I'd probably have gone a little high on it. But as long as I sit that card quite well back, it will stand. So it's going to be one for my shelf probably, rather than one I will give out. I'm going to go with some Hunkydory ones. I just want this to be a little lower than that bar. So we've got the whole world is yours to explore. Under there, of course we need some gems. Let's have a look. So I think probably just going to put 2 in there. So we want smaller ones. And then I'm going to put one big one on this side. Okay, so that's that. So let's see how that stands. I've got an idea what I could do if I'm not happy with it still. Oops. Come on now, you stay there. Okay, so what I'm going to try do, I'm going to try just putting it onto a 6x6 card blank, you know, like worst comes to worst, pop it on a card blank, see what happens. So let's see, so what it's not supposed to, it's supposed to stand. I think I've just put that bar a little far forward, so let's make it functional, because at the end of the day you want it to be a card that you can send out. Like I say, I think that bar needs to be more down where this one is, so, and then it should hold its shape better. So now we're just going to turn it into a card with a step. Just check that that fits nicely over the top. Just need to take a tiny smidge off that side. There we go. And that should fit nicely behind. Yes, it does. Okay. Oh, sorry about this, guys, but at least, you know, when it goes wrong, or when it's not quite how you expect it to be, then hopefully we'll have a way to fix it and turn it into a project we can still give away. Okay, so now that should have a bit of back behind there to help that stand. Ah, that's much better. Okay, so it's not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be able to stand on its own 2 feet. But by adding that back on there, we've turned it into something we can use. Like I say, this bar is supposed to be a lot lower, I think. I think I've been a bit ambitious, gone a bit high, which is a big sad. But it still would fit in probably a 6 by 6.5 envelope, probably because of the chunk of it though. I would say boxalope or small box. Okay, so I'm just going to clear the decks and get ready for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2 I'm going to go a little bit sort of plainer, quicker. So I've cut myself a card blank which is 8 by 6, so slightly larger than what I would usually do. So let's bring in my trimmer. I've got a piece of gold here, so I'm going to trim this to 2 notches under 8 and 2 notches under 6. So let's see how that goes. That's good. And then for this one I want 4 notches under 6. So we've got a lovely piece for a border there, and take some out of the sky. 4 notches under 8. Let's just see how that fits onto there. That's nice. Okay, now I'll leave that for a second. I think let's pop these bits together first of all. So just book standard gluing it on to my card blank. Okay, and just to these corners. And in. Okay. And I'm going to come back to the little decoupage bits that we saved. And I probably should have stuck these on before I popped them on the card, because I know we're right. Because I wouldn't be able to trim them, but we're not going to need to. So just pop these bits out super carefully. what I am going to do is just take marking with my pencil, so put a little bit there and I need to come along there, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to see that. There. And I'm hoping it's straight as well because there's no straight edge to line it up against. Let's see how that goes. Just do a tiny bit more of this side. It's just the smidgiest bit, it really is. Just defluff that, and then this one maybe needs a little bit off. Some a little bit off here as well. And just check that doesn't hang over the edge. Perfect. Okay. So the easiest way to do this is the way I did it on the last video, which is to put your decoupage on here, put the run your scissors or your knife down the back, and just do it as each layer goes on. But to be fair, it wouldn't have helped me with this side anyway. So okay, so we're going to take these backs off. And again, all the way around. Got a little one there as well, if I could not put my hands in. And a little bit tacky glue, just to give us that bit of float time. This is still quite a really big card, so even though it's a sort of waste card, it's still a substantial one. And this one, you've got the extra eagle in the background over there, so on the top of you just got the one. Okay. Tacky glue just to float again. Just going to line up his feet and then up to his head. Well, we have got a foot coming over here. There we go. No, we don't. Well, it's a bit of rock, so I haven't cut off his foot. Okay, so then the next thing I thought I might like to do is, and I might have to steal the piece from this other one. So we've got this lovely diamond border which matches this here, but this is foiled. So let's just grab that. Obviously we're going to be using this sentiment, which is It's Your Birthday, Go Wild. So I know it's not going to be quite long enough. Is there any way for me to hide that with my sentiment? Kind of feel like there would be a big blank space here if I don't put that there. Maybe instead what I can do is do a couple of flags. So let's just see how that is going to look. So it's all going to tie in with that design, with that green. And then some gems. Oh, I think I like that. Okay, so I think what we need to do with those is raise them up though. So let's just use a 1mm foam pad. Hopefully that's not going to be too wide. So that's there. So I'm just cutting this pad down so it's narrow enough to go onto there. There. So let's go ahead, actually let's put this one on first because this is the one nearest the end. Oops, I was going to put my hands in it. So, a little bit of tissue just because of that bit of glue there, but it's tacky glue so it will dry clear. There we go. More tacky glue on there. And then we could go there, or we could go there. Wait a second. I think I'm going to go down here with a chunkier pad. So let's bring in this 5mm one. I'm going to put that one there, and then I'm going to do gold gems again, and I think I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. We'll have a larger one there, small one there, smaller one there, and then just to tie all together, just one of these supersized ones in that corner. Okay, so I think those could be straighter if I'm honest with you. So obviously I'm having a bit of an off day with my card making today, but we've come out with it with 2 half decent things, so it's still a success, and at least you can learn from my mistake with that first one. Okay, so obviously they do need the inserts in. That's just a straightforward 10th fold card. Like I say, these could be a little straighter. And then you've got this one, which is one of those fun folds, which I did slightly incorrectly, which will sit on a mantelpiece like that. Like I say, this needs definitely to come down a bit lower, so that this here, I believe it needs to be around about there. So probably where I put that second topper, sentiment, is where it needs to be to keep that in there. But worst comes to worst, you know, just pop a card blank on the back and a perfectly usable card. Okay, so that's it for today. I am going to come back again another time with this decolarge, at least one more time, just because there are so many nice images there. I have got I did get my Hunkydory free gift today, so I have got that to play with, and it is really, really nice. So I might do the same as I did last time, where I did a video for each sheet and used all of the toppers up, because that did seem to be quite popular. But you know, that last kit was a really lovely kit to work with, so I'm hoping this one is going to be as well. But for now we'll stick with decolarge. But thank you so much for watching. As always, huge thank you for the support. If you want to see pictures of the cards I make and cards that I've made for the last couple of years, actually, you'll see how I've, you know, sort of progressed over the years. On Pinterest, it's Sybil Jane's Concoctions. I do also post on Facebook as well. But take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend. Happy crafting. Bye.